Hi, good morning. My name is Jocelyn O'Neill and I'm the Environmental Education Manager here at the River Center, and today we are going to go exploring in the garden again. But before we do that, I wanted to tell you a little story. Back in 2018, I had the opportunity to go to a conference out in Texas. At that conference, I was part of a session that was talking about the importance of migrating monarch butterflies. And they had these big celebrations and festivals to celebrate when the monarchs were flying through a specific area. And I thought that was such a cool idea, and I wanted to do that here at the River Center. Unfortunately, our monarchs don't migrate, but I knew that we had a special story to tell because we had a butterfly here that had made it back from the brink of extinction, and I'm talking about the Atala butterfly. It had lost all of its host plants, and for years they thought that it was extinct. But some very industrious people found them and were able to start bringing their habitat back up here all the way to Palm Beach County. So we are fortunate to have in our garden now the Atala butterfly. But I knew that before I could have a fun festival here to celebrate the Atala butterfly, that I needed to create a special place for butterflies to be here at the River Center. I also wanted to create a space where we talked about other pollinators, not just butterflies, but bees and wasps and beetles and birds and all kinds of things. So when I came back from that conference, I decided that we were going to take our garden here and we were going to make it into a pollinator garden. And I knew I had a long way to go, but thankfully I actually had a very good backbone to start with. Some students from the Jupiter Environmental Research and Field Studies Academy back in 2007, which is a long time ago, came here to the River Center to do their EnviroService project. And they removed all of our non-natives and exotics and invasive species here and left us with a lot of really good hardy plants. So really, I just had to fill in the blanks. Now last week, Megan showed you the first part of that pollinator garden that was put in during a Girl Scout workshop. Today, I'm going to be showing you a new special phase. This one features endangered and threatened plants. And this one was actually put in partnership with some volunteers from Pratt Whitney. But I couldn't do all this myself. In fact, I don't know as much about plants as I probably should, just like you. So I had some help from some very special people. C.J. McCartney, who's a member of the Native Plant Society, and her friend Julia Reniger, who's a volunteer at Mounts Botanical Garden, actually came to the River Center, figured out which endangered and threatened plants we needed to put in here and where to place them and which ones would do well here. And because they did that, we're hopeful that we will soon be seeing some threatened and potentially critically endangered butterflies here as well. So, are you ready to go see all these cool plants that we have here? Let's go. All right, so check out this little guy. Doesn't look like much, but this plant is called a gopher apple. Does that sound kind of familiar? Well, guess what? This plant is a favorite of our friend the gopher tortoise. We put this here because we actually do have a gopher tortoise that lives here on site at the River Center in Burt Reynolds Park. So this is a critically endangered plant. This is the Pineland croton, and it is the host plant for the Bartram scrub hairstreak. And kind of like the Atala, it is going extinct in parts of Florida. So this particular plant is really, really important, and I'm glad that we have it here at the River Center. And if you have the opportunity to put it in your yard, I would highly encourage you to do so that we can provide some more habitat for that particular butterfly. The Pineland croton is also a host plant for the Florida leafwing. It is also an endangered species. For both the Bartram's scrub hairstreak and the Florida leafwing, they have started population restoration down in the Keys. So by planting this here, hopefully, as their populations are restored, they'll make their way up here to Palm Beach County and they'll be able to find a place to lay their eggs. This is a plant called pencil flower. It is the host plant for a barred yellow sulfur butterfly, and this particular plant is also considered a rare plant. This is the native blue porterweed, and this is an important plant for the tropical buckeye butterfly. The tropical buckeye is considered a rare butterfly now, and this is a pretty flower. You can also find the non-native porterweeds typically in big box stores and places like this. The native porterweed grows low to the ground just like this one, has those cute little purple flowers on it. This happy little wildflower is called tickseed, and it happens to be the state flower for Florida. It's also a really great nectar plant, so we see butterflies and bees all the time on our tick seeds. These guys actually started out from just 2 plants, and now we have kind of a field of tick seeds going on. They're really kind of fun to look at. They make me happy. This is an endangered dune plant. Actually, this is the seed lavender. It grows very well in dry, sandy soil in full sun. So sometimes when you're at the beach, you might see a sea lavender growing on the side of a dune. This plant is called blackbead, and it is a very important plant for the Miami blue butterfly. The Miami blue is an endangered butterfly. They have tried to start populations again in the Keys. So again, we're hoping that by planting this here and having it, that they will make their way up here to Palm Beach County. This is a shortleaf fig, and this is a host plant for the ruddy daggerwing. The ruddy daggerwing is actually a rare and declining population of butterflies, and so we wanted to plant this here in the hopes of getting some of these ruddy daggerwings, and I am happy to tell you that I have seen a ruddy daggerwing in our garden, so that's really exciting. They will use a variety of different figs, but the shortleaf fig is a good one to try in your yard if you like that. We've planted a variety of different vines here at the River Center, and this one is called a butterfly pea. I love its beautiful purple flower. It is the host plant for the long-tailed skipper as well as the northern cloudy wing. Good one to put in your yard. It's very beautiful. So remember how I said I wanted to make this a pollinator garden? There's a lovely little bee right there getting nectar out of this native lantana. This is a favorite for all the butterflies here too. This is an excellent nectar plant. I've seen moths on this plant and butterflies and bees and even some wasps. Oh, and look, we even have a little butterfly here getting some nectar as well. So this is the Maypop passion vine. It's not necessarily a rare plant, but it is the host plant for Gulf fritillaries as well as zebra longwings. And we have several of the zebra longwings that we see in the garden all the time here. If you want to try any of these plants in your yard, I suggest you reach out to your local native landscapers. They're the ones that are going to be able to have these rare plants. You're not going to find these at the big box stores. So reach out to a native landscaper here locally and see if they have some of these exciting plants that you can put in your yard. Thank you for joining us here on our garden adventure in our threatened and rare plant area, and we hope that you can join us again next time.